You've definitely brought like a relentless positive energy to food television, which is something that it was missing, I think. Sometimes it gets like a little stuffy. It gets a little full of itself, especially in like the food criticism realm. And so I think people naturally gravitated towards that. And my favorite part of any Triple D episode is right after you take the bite, figuring out which level Guy Fieri is going to react to. Excuse me, Guy Fieri. Because there are 3 levels, right? In my opinion. The first,
I love these theories. This to me is like
I have
this
one
is
too
like
that I drop after PFTs.
the first when you think something's good, not great, you take the bite and you look at the person, you nod, and you're like, "That's out of bounds, man." As you're chewing, right? The second one is you take a bite and then you just put your hands on the table like you're LeBron coming out of the game and needing a quick breath. Like you just start breathing as you're thinking about it, and you just kind of get lost in your brain, right? And then the ultimate Guy Fieri compliment is when you take a bite and then you tell the camera, like, I'm going to need a minute to process this. And then you go in for bite 2 as the camera is, like, panning out from you. Would you say that's a fair assessment of, like, the 3 levels of how much you like something?
Well, I think you've got – I think that your Guy impersonations are spot on. And matter of fact, if you could cover a couple shows next Thursday for me, it would really help open my schedule up. There are differences of exclamation and exuberance and contemplation. First and foremost, if I don't like it, you don't see it.
Oh, I think So here's my theory. I think if you don't you aren't harsh on people, which I actually love because it's supposed to be fun. But I think your tell is when you say something's the real deal, you're just literally saying it's real. And that's the baseline of niceness. So it's probably not great, but it's real. It's actually fit. It's tangible. You are touching it. It's the real deal. Okay, I don't really like this, but I'm going to say something nice to you.
I've never been psychoanalyzed on Triple. I've never had it broken down like this.
I think that's it.
This is actually really going. Hey guys, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start paying better attention to this because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. It's asked all the time of me. First thing I just tell people is, 1, I won't bullshit you. If I don't like it, I don't like it. There's a difference about.
You can't cuss on this podcast, Guy.
Okay.
Actually,
no.
I
won't do that.
Yeah, you can just not bitch.
I'll tell you what it is though. Different things affect you at different times. Like sometimes you'll really get in. I've been watching. Someone turn that pot down for me, please. I've been watching 30 on 30, the ESPN. I've just been watching all of those. I just watched the Ali Larry Holmes fight, the final fight in the 80s. I mean, gosh, I remember that fight. I remember the whole thing. So I get to a different age where like I'm really interested in all the complexities of what was going on. So I think that there's different times that different foods strike you different ways. Also, there's something on top of it about where you are recently, where you're in headspace, on and on and on. So I can't say that there is a definitive explanation to say this is the thing that I specifically do when I have that feeling. Whatever is coming out at the time that I say it is what is really going on. And sometimes when I have to do this, I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to say.
What word you're going to make up. So do you have
No, there's no, and it's not, listen, it's the weirdest thing. I don't have any of these words. I don't say crunchification because I'm trying to be funny. Okay. I don't make this shit. I mean, I say whatever. Yeah. Thank God I have great editors because there's more smack talk going on than you could ever imagine. That if the blooper videos, I don't know if you've ever seen the bloopers that happen at the end of the show.
Yes.
That stuff's for real. And that's picking. They'll send me 30 of them and say, okay, which one do you want at the end of the show? Because it's somebody falling over, something getting knocked over, somebody cussing, a dog barking, whatever, the lights go out, whatever. So there's always crazy stuff that happens. But no, to get to your whole thing, it's not, there is one thing that does happen. Sometimes, and they don't show it as often because it takes a lot of time, but sometimes I'll walk off set. I'll take a bite of something and I'll take off on a walk. And
Just need some time to be alone.
Yeah.
Because I have to get myself away from the food because I'll shove more in my mouth.
Oh, okay. So
but they don't
good.
always show. Edit's a weird animal, because it can chop off the tail end of which might be the final bite line, but you don't have that much time.
Yeah.
Because the show is only 22 minutes long with commercials. So, but a great question.
So while we're on the sayings, what comes first? You actually try something on a flip-flop, or you get served something in a trash can lid? Because I think you have to do one of the two. Whenever you say something could be good on a flip-flop, it's so good you could eat it on a flip-flop. And then when it's so much food, serve it in a trash can lid. I think eventually, if you do this show for as long as you want to do this show, you have to do one or the other. The people need it.
I think that it's probably, and I was just in Florida shooting Triple D, and I wore flip-flops the entire time. And I'll tell you, are you guys flip-flop guys?
Not really.
In the summer.
Oh, have you ever tried OOFs?
No.
OOFOS? The bomb flip. I'm gonna send you some.
Okay.
The bomb flip.
Bomb.com.
Got them when I was in Hawaii. But I wear those because they got great arch support, and so I'm there. And the joke is, every time someone sees me in flip-flops, they'll say to me, would you eat that on a flip-flop? And I don't know where that came from, guys. But I was saying that the food was so great that even on my flip-flop, which I've been wearing, it would still be great.
Uh-huh.
That was the whole reason for that stupid line, or that crazy line, is because it was like, this would even be good on a flip-flop. And you don't know what you're going to say. Like Flavortown. Flavortown never started as Flavortown was a one time I said it. And I said, this looks like I think it was a pizza. And I said, it looks like the manhole cover in Flavortown. Harmless.
Yeah.
I'm walking through the airport. I got my film crew with me. We're going to shoot Triple D somewhere. And someone goes, the manhole cover, Flavortown. And I'm like, yeah, Flavortown. Then other people said Flavortown. And I said to Chico, who's my number one camera guy, my DP, I said, what's the flavor? And he goes, remember you said the thing about the pizza, the Flavortown? So then we brought it up again. I said something, and some guy had a plate. And I said, it looks like a bus, the steering wheel of the bus in Flavortown. Oh, geez, that was it, man. It blew up from
Hot
there.
tubs in Flavortown.
Flavortown thing, that's where it was born. I'm not kidding you. And it now has taken on now we have, Flavortown Kitchen. So it's a whole nother world.
I mean, it's something that's just so much fun to say.
Right.
Like if you take a bite of something that's really spicy and you're like, that is Flavortown, baby. Like you feel better after you say it.
When you see a big pot of something and you're like, that's a hot tub in Flavortown. That's my favorite when you do that.
But see that, and I'm glad you guys, you get it because you have your own vernacular and your own words and sayings and your double entendres that you guys play. And I'll tell you, it is a way to explain that a big, hot Dutch oven of, cassoulet, and you go like, right there, that's the volcano of Flavortown. Your mind can go, oh, crazy, big, over the top, must be delicious, something Guy Fieri would eat. Oh, that's a Triple D, that has its own little place. So it's become its own little descriptive style and attitude, but it's fun. And listen, that you guys hit the nail on the head. I'm positive. I believe in the better opportunities that we have than the worse. And I think that, like this pandemic we've been facing, we found the chance to rally as a country and support one another and find the better, and there's so many people that have lost so much and have been through such terrible times that I'm just happy that someone can hear Flavortown or order Flavortown, or we can have this podcast and can make somebody smile or make somebody not think about the terrible shit that's going on, and keep it on the upswing, because that's what we got to do.
For sure.
You got to find the silver lining.
Yeah, definitely. I've got two suggestions for you. You can take them or you can leave them.
Please.
The first would be, I know you do run into that experience time and again where you don't exactly know what to say to somebody about their food if you don't like it. I know you say you don't put it on the air, but what I say, if I'm eating food in front of somebody that made it for me, I don't want to offend them, I say, there's a lot going on in here, a lot of flavors going on in here. And it's not a lie. It can be totally true. And you can hate the flavors, but if you say like, man, there's a lot going on in here, it's not really an insult, but it's not also lying to their face, you know?
And you've got a great vocabulary and a great style about it, and you're very, that's the right way to treat people. Everybody, they made it and gave it to you because they intended it to make you happy.
Yeah.
They didn't go like, hey, let me see how bad I can screw this up and see if this guy will choke it down. Well. So that is a great way to say it. And there's been several times, more than several, there's been hundreds of times when I've had a chef make me something and it hasn't worked. And I've just looked right at him and said, chef, this doesn't work. Now I'm a chef, so I have that right to say that. And I do it with the utmost respect if I think they can handle it. If I don't think they're ready to handle it, then I've got nothing to prove to do this. I'm not going into shape. I'm not a food critic. I'm not in that realm. That's not my style. That's not my energy. But if I do think that I could explain to them maybe something where they took a misstep or something might have happened, then I'll do that. But there's no reason shaming people and making people feel bad, especially about food. That's like having some guy play music on stage and go, "You're playing in the wrong key."
Yeah.
Who would do shit? Nobody does that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second suggestion that I had, because I've started to deal with heartburn over the last, 6-7 years of my life. And I really suck at getting it under control because I love eating all the foods that give me heartburn. Why not combine them and do almost if you're making chicken wings, do a Tums dry rub on the outside or sprinkle it on seasoning so you combine the Tums with the hot food that you're about to eat. Have you ever tried something like that?
You got a lot going on here.
Yeah, I do.
Got a lot of big flavors.
A lot of big flavors, but give it a thought, guy. I feel like it's solving a problem before it starts.
I shot a place one time on Triple D, and they had these ice cream machines, and they made all this crazy styles of ice cream. And I told the guy the same thing. It's like, man, I get heartburn all the time, especially after all the indulgent food I eat. I said, let's make some Pepto-Bismol ice cream. So we made it. We went and got Pepto-Bismol. And we made it. And it actually wasn't bad. For anybody that has heartburn, if you could think what would be more soothing than something coating your stomach, making you that's super ice cold.
Yeah.
Didn't sell though. It didn't sell at all. It had a lot of big flavors going on, and there was a lot of effort, a lot of good effort. Not winning the game with this one. I don't know how that would actually at all be possible to put any type of antacid on a. And I did some great Rolaids commercials, and I'm a big. I love spicy food. I love all levels of food, and I love wine. And I love all the things that participate in heartburn. And all I will tell you is typically it has to do with diet. And that's about all I can tell you.
Yeah.
Is what you eat and when you eat it.